The truth was, I was behaving pretty badly, seriously. I went to each new placement with my history of bad behavior coming with me. My foster parents never had a problem telling me when I did something wrong, but they had a problem praising me when I did something right. I was always waiting to be told that I would be moved to a new home. I felt alone. Trust, support, and empathy were missing in those years. I know I sometimes made it difficult for my foster parents. I started to get into a lot of trouble when I entered into foster care. I went through many years where I felt it didn't matter what my behavior was because I felt no one honestly cared. I sometimes made bad choices. For example, skipping school, fighting, stealing, smoking weed, and at one point, I even went joyriding in a neighbor's car. Although my grades had always been pretty good in school, they did eventually go down. I fought with teachers, and often I wouldn't even go home at night. Through all of this, I had one person who stood by me, and that was my CASA Debbie. When I got into trouble at school, she was there to talk to my teachers to see what I needed to do to make sure that I made things right. She never stopped telling me that school was important, even when I refused to listen. At first, I didn't want to listen, but eventually I started to believe. When I would push her away or challenge her, she would tell me that she liked the challenge and that she was here to help me, and I didn't have to worry. When I had to go to court for taking my neighbor's car, she was there in court speaking up for me, so the judge would know I was no common criminal. She talked to my probation officer and found out what I needed to do and what was expected of me, and made sure that I followed through every time. When I was hauled into the police station for breaking a store window, it was Debbie who got me released. When I managed to stay out of trouble, she was the one who cared and let me know that she was proud of me. When I participated in band concerts or wrestling matches, it was Debbie who was often in the audience, supporting and cheering. When I finally finished high school, it was Debbie who was at my graduation. As I got ready to age out of the system, it was Debbie there to make sure that I had everything I needed to start my adult life. Things like a driver's license, a bank account, and a good credit score. Unlike many of the people that was involved in my life over the 10 years in the DCFS system, she never focused on what I did to get into trouble, but instead she focused on what I should do to stay out of trouble. For 10 years, she was the one caring person in my life. I could talk to Debbie about everyday life things, like school, my job, music, girls, and so on. I didn't have to have a problem to talk to my CASA. She made it clear that she enjoyed just seeing me, watching me grow, and offering opinions when asked. She was the one constant presence in my life. My CASA gave me two things that can't be measured. First, she gave me hope. She made me realize that I wasn't and wouldn't just be a kid in the system, that things could get better, and that I could have a better life, and that I deserved a better life. Second, and most important, she believed in me. She believed that I was a good person, and I just had to get over some rough times. She believed in me so much that I started to believe in myself, and that's when I turned my life around. I finished high school on time. I did very well my senior year. And with Debbie's encouragement and enthusiasm, I made that my focus the last year in high school. I joined a music group, and we performed at many different venues, often with Debbie in the audience. A year after high school, I was offered a job that took me to Ohio and then Massachusetts. During those years, my CASA was there to make sure that my case remained open with DCFS. While in Massachusetts, I was offered a job as a loan officer at a bank. I took the job, and it looked like things were pretty set for me. But I realized I wanted more. Debbie had always told me to try things while I was young, for it was the time to explore the possibilities in life. I realized my passion and dream was music, and I had to pursue it at this time. So I quit the safe job in Boston, and I moved back to Chicago. Although I'm not making much money now, I am happy what I do, which is pursuing a career in music. I'm performing solo at some clubs in Chicago, and honestly, I love what I do. I know you won't be surprised to hear this. My CASA, now my friend, is still in the audience cheering me on now. Thank you.